Alright everyone, welcome back to another video, and today in this video we have another spec-based, tech-based discussion video, okay? And today we're going to be talking about and comparing the new Google Pixel Watch to some of its other closest competitors, and I'm going to break down the specs, we're going to talk pricing, and I'm going to give y'all my initial impressions and recommendations. Now, y'all can see I have the date clearly displayed in the video. It was just announced literally a couple days ago. It won't be readily available to the public until October the 13th, okay? But I'm gonna hopefully give you all the information I could find, so if you do want to make your purchase in regards to the Pixel Watch, you know what you're getting into. Okay? That being said, when the relevant videos or things of that nature become available, I will link up some videos from my favorite content creators, as I always do with these type of discussion specs-based videos, down below in the video description, as well as when the relevant affiliated links become available, I'll link that up down below in the video description as well. So as always, down below in the video description will be like a one-stop shop for you guys and gals, and you should be good to go. And as the name implies, those affiliated links means just that. That means when you use those links, I do get a small percentage of kickback that I do put back into the channel, so I can keep bringing you guys and gals content and keep producing content, and that's at no additional cost to you guys and gals. So without further ado, let's jump into how I feel about the Pixel Watch and how it compares to its closest competitors. Let's go. And once again, as we always do with these videos, we will be using a combination of websites. I will link up all featured websites down below in the video description as well. Let's jump into it. So here we are on GSM Arena, and here you can see it. Now, disregard the pricing, because I'm going to go over the pricing directly from the manufacturer's website, and then I'm going to talk about where I was actually able to find the products, if I was able to find them, and what prices I was able to find them at. But first, let's run down the specifications. Now, in terms of the look, you can see we're comparing the Pixel Watch to the Galaxy Watch 5 and the Apple Watch SE 2022. Now, in terms of the look, in my opinion, all three of these watches look great. But if you're looking for a more classic or traditional timepiece or watch, then you're definitely going to be considering the Galaxy Watch 5 or the Pixel Watch. The Apple Watch SE 2022 has a more modern, squarish, boxy design, whereas the Galaxy Watch 5 and the Pixel Watch go with a more traditional watch design. But in my opinion, I feel as though all of these watches look great, and if I was to pick up all of them, I think I would enjoy each and every one of them. So in terms of the looks, I'd have to say it's a tie across the board. Now, all of these watches do come with LTE via the eSIM, so no need to talk about it here, but it is available with all the relevant bands from your necessary carriers via the eSIM, because you do have a Wi-Fi and Bluetooth variant for all of these, as well as a Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and LTE variant for all of these. So you can use these watches independently without your phone if you get the LTE versions, but it will cost a little bit more. If you don't want to spend that little bit of extra money, the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth variants do require you to connect it up to your phone. Okay? But all of the functionality between these watches is pretty much spot on the same. Okay? So that goes over the LTE and the bands. Now, let's get into the builds. Y'all can see the dimensions. Now, in terms of the build, these are pretty much built out of the same materials. It's just different quality of materials. So you can see we got aluminum, we have glass. In particular with the Android watches, we have Gorilla Glass, okay? Whereas with the Apple Watch, we have like a sapphire crystal glass. You know how Apple always does it, that reinforced shatterproof glass. Pretty much what they have on their iPhones, that's what you get on your Apple Watch. Now with these the Android watches, you get Gorilla Glass for the Pixel, and you get a more similar glass as to the Apple Watch on your Galaxy Watch 5. Now they're all three 5 atmosphere water resistant, so that means they can withstand the elements just fine. So you can do whatever you want with these watches on. You could do workouts, you could take it in the shower with you, you can go swimming. They're all gonna survive perfectly fine with no issues. Alright? So no issues there. Now, let's get into our first set of major differences here. Let's talk about these displays. Now, the Apple Watch is using a POLED display, whereas the two Android watches with the Galaxy Watch 5 and the Pixel Watch are using different variants of AMOLED displays. The Galaxy Watch is using a Super AMOLED, and the Pixel Watch is using a regular AMOLED. But honestly, in terms of the display technology, all of the displays on these watches are really, really good. Whether it's POLED, Super AMOLED, or AMOLED, shouldn't have any issues with the displays on these watches. Now, let's get into some other differences here. In terms of peak brightness, all of these watches are pretty much the same, okay? They all have a peak brightness of 1000 nits. That's if you leave them on auto bright mode, and they all three have an always on display function. So you can truly use them like traditional watches, okay? Now, moving on from there, let's get into the display sizes, which is slightly different on each one. Now, the Pixel Watch has a circular 1.2-inch display. The Galaxy Watch 5 has a circular 1.4-inch display. And then the Apple Watch SE 2022 has a square 1.7-inch display. 1.78-inch, 1.7-inch. It's a square display. Alright, so those are the differences in display sizes, as well as the differences in display technologies. Now, moving on, let's get into talking about the chips and the software that run on these watches, right? Now, with the Apple Watch, it's running the Apple S8 chip, and it's running iOS 9 and above, okay? With your Android watches, they're running on Wear OS 3.0. In particular, with your Galaxy Watch 5, it's running on Wear OS 3.0, but it has the One UI 4.5 skin on top. So it looks a little bit different than the traditional Wear OS software design. Okay? Whereas if you get the Pixel Watch, you're using stock Wear OS, the way Google intended the Wear OS software to be on the Pixel Watch as it does on the Pixel with the Pixel experience. That's exactly the way Google intended for Android to be. Alright? So those are the differences in terms of software. Slight different software looks, slight different software navigation, but basically they all function the same in terms of software. It just looks different because the OSs are slightly different across the board. Now, in terms of the chip for the Android watches here, you can see the Pixel Watch and the Galaxy Watch are using Exynos chips. Alright, now Google has actually added an independent companion chip for their Pixel Watch to make it a little bit more smoother and handle some of the heavy lifting. But for the Galaxy Watch 5, you are using an Exynos chip. And you can see all of these watches have dual core chips, but in terms of the performance, it should work without issues. Okay? Now, moving on, let's talk RAM and storage, because there is no expandability on any of these watches. Okay, now in terms of the RAM, the Apple Watch SE has 1 gig, the Galaxy Watch 5 has 1.5 gigs, and the Pixel Watch has 2 gigs. That's it. There's no other RAM options available. What you get is what you get. Now, in terms of storage, the Apple Watch has 32 gigs, the Galaxy Watch has 16 gigs, and the Pixel Watch has 32 gigs. Again, no expandability, so what you get is what you get. But honestly, in terms of wearable watches and storage, I never really, like when I had my Galaxy Watch, I never really stored stuff locally on the watch. I just used it as a companion to my smart device, so I never really actually stored music or anything like that directly on the watch. Okay? But if you do that sort of thing, because maybe you want to use it independently of your phone, even though it doesn't have LTE, and you want to have it out and about and connect it up with some Bluetooth earbuds, that internal storage is important. So now you know the differences. Okay? And another thing that I want to point out is that even though all three of these watches don't have built-in cameras, all three of these watches do give you the ability to control the camera on your smart device with some software features. So if you wanted to use your watch as a viewfinder to maybe line up a selfie and not use a selfie stick or a Bluetooth remote, you can do that with all three of these watches. So that's a really nice feature, and I wanted to make sure I pointed it out. Okay? And another thing that's nice, all three of these watches have built-in speakers and microphones, so you can use them to dictate text messages and take phone calls without having a Bluetooth headset connected if you would like. Alright, and that does mean that you can use them to interact with their dedicated voice assistants as well if you would like, and listen to music from them as well if you would like. Okay, because they do have the speakers and microphones to let you do so. Alright, now let's get into another difference. This difference is a difference, but it's not as big as, let's say, the display technologies or the display sizes. But another difference here is that the Pixel Watch is running Bluetooth 5.0, the Galaxy Watch 5 is running Bluetooth 5.2, and the Apple Watch SE 2022 is running Bluetooth 5.3. All really good Bluetooth across the board. It really doesn't matter which one you go with. Bluetooth performance should be solid across the board. Okay? But that is a difference that I wanted to point out. Alright, now talking about your sensors, you can see your sensors here. So they all have accelerometers, gyroscopes, heart rate sensors, O2 sensors, all that stuff. So you could track your steps, track your sleep, all that good stuff is here. Alright, but to go along with that, let's get into another difference, which is quite major. Let's talk battery sizes. Okay, now in terms of the battery sizes, y'all can see the Pixel Watch has a 294 milliamp hour battery, and that's comparing it to the 410 milliamp hour battery on the Galaxy Watch 5, and comparing it to the 296 milliamp hour battery on the Apple Watch SE 2022. So you can see, for some strange reason, the Galaxy Watch has a really big battery compared to the other two, but all of these watches are quoting up to 1 day of regular usage and up to about 3 days of light usage depending on how you use it. Okay, now in my opinion, because sleep tracking is so important, I really wanted these watches to quote at least 2 days, alright, with regular usage, and maybe 5 days with light usage, because sleep tracking is important, especially if you're more health conscious. Tracking your sleep, just like tracking your steps, is really important. And a watch that lasts 1 day with regular usage, that's really not good battery life in my opinion, especially if you want to use it all day and then track your sleep. Honestly, with regular usage, depending on your style of usage, these watches should barely make it to the end of the day, and then you may have to charge them up one more time before you go to bed so you can take advantage of the sleep tracking, which honestly is no good. No good. This is why I wish these watches would offer at least 2 days with regular usage and 5 days with light usage. Okay? These companion products should really be offering battery life similar to smart bands. Smart bands get you anywhere from 5 to 14 days with regular usage, and that expands out to 15 to 30 days with light usage depending on how you use it. And honestly, in my opinion, if you're going to be using a wearable, which primarily when we talk about wearables, we want wearables so we can get our notifications, so we can check our messages, check our emails, track our sleep, track our steps, you know, interact with our devices without picking up our devices so much. That's the whole point of a wearable. And that's why the battery life is so important. Okay? Now, talking about charging, all three of these products should charge up about the same. About 80 minutes, 90 minutes, maybe an hour and a half, you know. So charging, you shouldn't have any issues with any of these. Now, they all use a wireless-like charging method. Okay, so they got that puck, and you put your watch on it, and it charges it up. Okay, now the Galaxy Watch, I have to say, is a little bit better in this regard because it uses a more standard wireless charging standard. So if you have like a regular wireless charging pad, you should just be able to drop your Galaxy Watch on it and it should charge up. Okay, whereas the Pixel Watch and the Apple Watch, they have their dedicated pucks that you have to drop the watches on to let them charge up. Okay, so that is a difference there that I wanted to point out. And then we could talk about the colors. I'm not really going to talk about the colors, but y'all can see the different colors that are offered. In my opinion, I'm going to be grabbing these, if I grab them, in black. Y'all know how I do. I want my wearables, like my phones, to be very integrated and seamless. And you know, black goes with everything. It is what it is. Alright, so those are the specs rundowns between the watches. And honestly, it's hard for me to recommend one over the other because all of these watches are so good, in my opinion, based on what I've seen and what I've read about them. These are some good wearables. It really just comes down to what OS and what software you're comfortable with. Okay, you get the OS and or the watch that corresponds to the software that you're comfortable with. Okay, so if you're an Android person, you might be looking at the Pixel Watch. If you're an Android Galaxy person, you might be looking at the Galaxy Watch. If you're an iOS person, then you're looking at the Apple Watch SE. Alright? But if it really makes no difference to you, if you use multiple OSs and you just want one that's going to work with everything, all of these watches would work with your device regardless of what software you may have. It just may be very limited depending on the software that you have. So the Galaxy Watch will work with iOS, the Pixel Watch will work with iOS, the Apple Watch will work with Android, and vice versa. But to get the best features from every watch, you need to be rocking the companion device that corresponds. So for the Galaxy Watch, you really would want to be rocking a Galaxy device, like a S10 and above. For the Pixel Watch, you want to be rocking basically any Pixel from the first generation and above. And for the Apple Watch, you can pretty much be rocking any Apple product from the iPhone 8 and above. Okay, that way you're guaranteed to get usage from all of the features that these watches and or wearables offer. Okay, now let's talk pricing. All right, I'm gonna go over the pricing that I was able to find in regards to the Galaxy Watch and in regards to the Apple Watch SE. Now, in regards to the Pixel Watch, being as it just came out, okay, it's literally still on pre-order. There's literally only one place that you can get the Pixel Watch from, or if not two places. You can get it from Best Buy, and you can get it from Google directly, okay? And we're gonna go over the pricing on that. But I can't even talk. But before we talk about the prices I was able to find, let's go over the pricing from the manufacturers directly. And I'm going to try to do my best to talk more succinctly. It's a struggle out here, but let's go. Now, starting off with the Galaxy Watch here. The Galaxy Watch, as with all these watches, comes in two different varieties, and they do have a really good sale going on right now, which I think it may have just ended. Okay, yeah, it did just end. So it's back to the regular pricing. So in regards to the Galaxy Watch, I already showed you guys the colors. Okay, here's your different band styles. Okay, so you got Sport, Global Goals, Rich Sport, Extreme Sport, Hybrid Leather. Here's your different colors for the bands. And yeah, like I said, I would rock the black. So y'all see what I have here, the black face with the black band or graphite band. Okay, and then down here you see we got the Wi-Fi, and then we got the Wi-Fi and LTE. Now, from Samsung, you can get your Galaxy Watch 5 for as little as $280 for the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth only variant. Okay, now you up that to $330 if you want to get the LTE variant. Okay, now, based on what I was actually able to find, you can get your Galaxy Watch 5 for as little as $210 from third-party sellers, or at most $250 from third-party sellers, okay? And by far, that was the cheapest price I was able to find in terms of all three of these wearables. So $210, that's not bad. I'll have that link down below in the video description. But there you guys have it. So you can see the differences for your Galaxy Watch 5. Now that does go up if you go to the Galaxy Watch Pro. Alright? But I'm just talking about the Galaxy Watch 5. You can see the differences if you go up to the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro. And then they have some limited editions, the Golf Edition, the Pro Golf Edition, so on and so forth. So you can see all the price differences there if you buy from Samsung directly. And then you can see what the financing looks like from Samsung directly. So $280 outright if you go with the Wi-Fi only variant, or $7.80 for 36 months if you qualify for Samsung financing. That does mean they will have to run a credit check. But that goes over the pricing for the Galaxy Watch. So $280, I want y'all to keep that in mind, or as $330. Okay, so $280 or $330. Galaxy Watch 5. Now, jumping over to the Apple Watch SE. Okay, this is what you're able to get the Apple Watch SE for 2022 from Apple directly. Okay, so the Wi-Fi only variant is going to be as little as $300, or you can see the monthly pricing here. Okay, and then you can see the bands here. And as I said, y'all know I'm going to rock that black band, right? So that's what I have selected. And then you can see your different band sizes. So 40 millimeter, 44 millimeter, and the difference in pricing there. Okay? And then if we come down here, you can see what your difference in pricing is going to be. Wi-Fi versus LTE. Okay? And that's another thing that I wanted to point out. All of these products have built-in GPSs. So when you take them for runs or things of that nature, it can track your run straight from the watch, because all of these wearables have built-in GPSs. But you can see for the Wi-Fi only variant of the Apple Watch, $300, or $12.45 for 24 months from Apple directly for the Wi-Fi only, or Wi-Fi and LTE, $350, or $14.54 for 24 months from Apple directly. Now, let me go over what I was actually able to find the Apple Watch SE 2022 for via third-party sellers. Now, I was actually able to find this one in a Wi-Fi only variant for as little as $250. Even better, I was actually able to find it on the Amazon payment program for as little as $50 a month for 5 months. So that is really good stuff there, because that's basically 5 payments and then it's yours. So I found it for as little as $250, or as most of $350, which is what you can see from Apple directly here. That was the LTE variant. So far, talking about the pricing, talking Wi-Fi only, Galaxy Watch has the cheapest pricing so far. Okay? Talking about LTE variants, okay? The Galaxy Watch has the cheapest pricing so far. Okay? Now, jumping over to your Google Pixel Watch. Okay, let's load that up. Okay? You can see from Google directly, you can get it for $350 or $29.17 a month for 12 months with financing. And with Google's financing, they will have to do a credit check. Now, along with that, however, you will get Fitbit Premium for 6 months. Okay? Google worked very closely with Fitbit when they were developing their Pixel Watch. Okay? It's a very tight Google and Fitbit collaboration device. Okay? But you do get Fitbit Premium for 6 months free, and you do get YouTube Premium and YouTube Music Premium free for 3 months when you get your Pixel Watch. Now, here are the colors again. As I said, I'm going to get that black, that matte black, that makes it even better. Okay, and one thing that I like here about the Pixel Watch in particular is I really like how it looks, but also how easy it is to switch the bands. I've seen some videos on how easy it is to switch the bands. I like how easy that is. I like how seamless it integrates into the watch itself. Really good stuff there. But all of the bands on all of these products are really easy to switch. So good stuff there. Okay? So now let's get into the differences in pricing. So for the Wi-Fi only variant for the Pixel Watch, it's going to be $350. Okay? Or if you want the LTE variant, it's going to be $400. Alright? So that is $350 or $29.17 a month for 12 months. Or if we switch over to the LTE variant, it's going to be $400 or $33.33 for 12 months. Okay? Just so y'all know the differences there. And with that financing, as I said, you will have to run a credit check. Okay? Okay, so that goes over the pricing. And as I said, being as the Pixel Watch is still available only on pre-order, you can only really pre-order it from Best Buy or from Google directly, and that's going to be the pricing. Now, Best Buy may have some better deals because they may have some better perks that go along with it, but here I wasn't really going to pull up the Best Buy pricing because I'd rather just show y'all the pricing from the manufacturers directly. But there you have it. So weirdly enough, talking about the pricing, the Galaxy Watch actually came out to be the best deal overall. Whereas the Pixel Watch and the Apple Watch kind of lined up at the same exact price, depending on which one you want. Okay, and as I said earlier, if it was me, I would go with the Wi-Fi only variants. So that means that for the Apple Watch, I could just actually spend a little bit extra and get the LTE variant for $350, which is what I would be paying for the Pixel Watch Wi-Fi only variant anyway. So I don't know, that might be a tough sell there. But if I was just comparing Android to Android, that still might be a tough sell, because the Galaxy Watch is a really good watch and it's available at a lot cheaper price, even with LTE. So I don't know, Google is very competitive, but yeah, I may have done a better job there in terms of the pricing. Now that will go down, that will go on sale. It always does, especially with the fact that things like Black Friday and Cyber Monday are literally a few months away, right around the corner. So if you can wait or you're patient, you can get the Pixel Watch at probably a better deal. You just gotta be diligent and patient and wait for that good deal to pop up. Okay, but I'll have links to these manufacturer websites down below in the video description if you want to get it from the manufacturer directly. Okay, now I'm not really going to do a video on the new Pixel phones. There are some great phones. Google did a great job, but it was basically just a very iterative update to the Pixel 6 and Pixel 6 Pro. Does it look better than the Pixel 6 and Pixel 6 Pro? Yes, the Pixel 7 and 7 Pro do look better, but in terms of the advancements, we had slightly better cameras, we had a slightly newer chip, and that was pretty much it. Okay, so I'm not really going to do a video on my thoughts on the new Pixels. I like them, they look good. It's a Pixel device, which means you're going to have really good software with really good integration. You're going to get support for up to 5 years, and you're going to have really good cameras. Okay, that's what it means to have a Pixel device. Really good software support, and really good cameras. That's Pixel in a nutshell. Okay, so I really didn't feel the need to do a dedicated video on that. But here is my overall rundown and thoughts on the Pixel Watch, and here's how it compares to some other wearables in the market that are available right now today. Alright, so I hope you guys and gals enjoyed this video. I hope you guys and gals found it helpful. If you did, you know what to do. As always, if your interest is piqued, all the links will be available down below in the video description. Alright, I hope everyone is having a great day. Hope you guys and gals are staying safe out there, and I will catch everyone in the next one. We are out of here. Have a good one, everybody. Peace. All right.